We're back. Join Daenerys Farron this and every Thursday night for Conversations with Rio, an exciting, inspirational, insightful, and life changing talk show. It is riveting, it is pure, it is the honest truth, and it is on Instagram and YouTube Live, 8 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday. Live radio will never be the same.
As much as we know that we were not redeemed with corruptible things such as silver and gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me say a special good night to you all. Yep. Testing one, two. So earlier we had some technical difficulties, but if you're just joining, let me say thank you for being here with me. Welcome to Conversations with Rio. My name is Denario Farron. Let me welcome you right here on the Timeless Gospel Radio app, on the radio station. If you're joining, if you're watching right now live, or if you're just watching a few days after the broadcast, let me say welcome. Thank you. Those of you on Instagram, big up. Welcome to Conversations with Rio. And I'm just really elated to have you guys here with me. Yep. What a beautiful day it is. I'm just really excited to be here. I'm alive. I'm well. I'm just really feeling good. And of course, I'm just happy that you guys are able to join me this week. Do me a favor. Head over to YouTube. Yes. And type in Denario Farron. Yep, that's my name. Dannareo. And if you're already there or here, thank you. Do me a favor, subscribe. Yes, it's very easy. Just click that button. Yes, it goes a far way. I'd really appreciate if you guys did that just for me. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are seeing the title, then of course you know exactly what we'll be talking about tonight. This is really the, you know, the true value system. The What do we mean by that? Now, I think this is a very important topic. Yeah, I'm just making some checks here, just making sure that we're fine. We're not having any technical difficulties. But yeah, what do we mean by the true value system? We're going to go deep into discussion tonight. Those of you who plan on calling in, make sure you have these numbers jot down. The hotline is, it's scrolling on your screen. If you're listening, it's 347 426 347 426 4505. Yes, that's 347 426 4505. And if you're trying to call on WhatsApp, that's a WhatsApp call. Then you can use 345 635 3131. That's 345 635 3131. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's big up some people. While we're here, I see Davi. Big up yourself, Miss Legend, Jada. Big up yourself. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me right here on Conversations with Rio. And again, if you're watching this a few days after today's broadcast, that's fine. That's okay. Listen, you might hear me with some little sniffles. Don't worry. The weather is changing over here. Yes, it's getting very cold. And if you know me, I struggle, or I'm challenged with sinus. Yes, sinus. What a season to have bad sinuses. Anyways, so let's big up some people. DJ Richie, if you're listening, big up yourself. Doc, big up yourself. That's the CEO right here at Timeless Gospel Radio, right here in Queens, New York, off Merrick Boulevard. If you're trying to find where the radio station is, that's 220-09 Merrick Boulevard, Queens, New York. Listen, we are inviting you, all the other hosts that are here on a Monday. Let me see if I can run through the programs. On a Saturday, let's start there. You're going to have Kingdom Mission with DJ Richie in the morning. You're going to have Sir Fagan in the evening. On a Sunday from 5 to 6, or is it 6 to 7? You're going to have Pastor Robert Lewis. Big up yourself, Sir Lewis. On a Thursday, you'll have Showers of Grace with Chaplain Butler. That's correct. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you the program. So you have Kingdom Mission on a Saturday, um, Basco House with Sir Fagan on a Sunday. What time is it? Yes, with Pastor Robert Lewis, and of course on a Thursday at 8 Eastern time here. You'll have conversations with Rio with myself. Yeah, so we just wanted to tell you guys thanks for joining. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for inviting me, rather, in joining. Thank you for inviting me in your homes, in your car, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So let's dive in. So, ladies and gentlemen, this week I don't really need notes. I'm just going to talk from my heart because it's a pressing discussion. The true value. The true value. What does that mean? By itself, okay, all right, the true value. But there's so many things we could think about when we talk about the true value of oneself. In previous weeks, I've spoken on various topics. I've spoken on, let me see if I can go back to my notes right here. Yeah, I said I didn't need notes, right? Yeah, I definitely need my notes. Um, dum. But there's various things, guys, that I could say the true value of oneself. I could say, placement. And this is really where I'll kind of go with things. The placement of oneself, in other people's spaces, in other people's lives. You need to understand yourself. So let's talk about that. Now, okay, good. I'm getting texts. People, I need to big up people on Instagram. Hey, Minky. Hey, Latoya. Yeah, people are getting jealous over here. Why you didn't big me up on Instagram? Yo, Ray J, big up yourself, bro. Thank you for joining. Who else is there? Let's see some hearts. Tap some hearts. Let's see some hearts here. It's come like I need to create that. Not create, but I need to start going live on TikTok. But then I haven't reached. When they say you need 1,000 followers, Matthias, yeah man, big up yourself, bro. Thank you for joining. So yeah, so value system, people, value system. All the various Timmy, big up yourself, Timothy. Who else is there? But anyways, for all the weeks, all the episodes that I've done, mainly trying to empower people to firstly believe in themselves. Yes, you have to believe in yourself. You have to understand your purpose. You have to understand your calling. You have to, you have to really know yourself. And um, last week or the week before was knowing oneself. I had you can't become what you don't believe, and the week before that, validation would have been the title for that episode 3, because you heard from John Mark, you heard from Lucas, you heard from quite a few people, Warren Robinson. I had people call in, and we did a few interviews. But we need to understand the value of ourselves. You have to value yourself. What I realize that's happening, and I'll share this much with you. What I realize that's happening in the music industry. All right, let's talk about church, because it's not really, or not just the music industry. The issue I'm finding is mostly with the church. So let's talk about that. Hopefully I don't make any enemies tonight. But if I make it by talking the truth, so be it. So I'm a musician, most of you know, and it's knowing how to navigate. Let me see if I can shift things here. You have to know how to navigate and to negotiate as a musician, as a business person, especially coming up with figures that are mutually beneficial, where, your client doesn't feel like they're losing an arm. OJ, big up yourself. Daniel, Joel, big up, bro. Yeah, your client don't feel like they're selling their soul or they're losing an arm and a leg. And obviously you feel comfortable with whatever compensation you are getting. So the issue I'm having, and I hope that pastors, churchgoers, and all these people, accountants and people who sit in the places to make these decisions, I hope you watch this part of this episode because you are the person I have a problem with. Hello, Gracie. So, stop undervalue people. Make we start there. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got a little bit excited. Let me calm down. Stop undervaluing people. You get me? As I am so sick and tired of people trying to lowball. If you're a drummer, Joel, you are here, bro, and I've watched you. As a drummer, you've worked on your craft for years, and equally other musicians, you work on your craft. You go to school. You know what I mean? I watch you, Joel. Most people would have realized by now. Obviously, you are a great singer. You're a pastor's. You're a PK. Everybody know this by now. This is public knowledge, really. You know, and you grew up in the church. You are a drummer, a musician, a producer. So people have to understand that. Firstly, being a musician is a real job. Let's start there. Let's start there. Being a musician is a real job. It's a real job. It's a real career, that people are building because everything you do, it either makes or breaks you. And it's a real deal. When you go out there, you put things, you see musicians, they're putting videos online. You see them putting, doing live arrangement. COVID brought that to life or to light a lot where, we couldn't meet physically. So we had to be doing a lot of post-production and a lot of live arrangement where I play on distance. The point I'm making is it's a real career and people definitely try to, people go to school of music. Whether you go to Berkeley's, whether you go to Edna Manley, whether you go to any one of these musical institute, you know, it's a real job. It's a real career. And I want people to stop. If you guys can screen record this little section and post it, musicians, creatives, I would gladly appreciate it because this is a virus, a disease that spreads right across all borders and everywhere, internationally, wherever you are. It is a disease. I have realized that it's widespread, worse than COVID. Stop underappreciate, undervalue people and them craft, especially a musician. You know what I mean? In the spaces that I am, obviously the US and the Jamaican in terms of the rate might be different. It might be. It is different. You know what I mean? I'm 10 times more valuable here in the States than what I was in Jamaica. Because it's just the culture. The culture is different. The appreciation is different, but at the same time, there is still an underappreciation for the thing itself. Um, I hate when I'm a pastor's kid, a pastor's son. I've grown up in church for more than 20 something years, and I've watched church. I know church politics. I know kingdom mission, kingdom building. I understand the ins and outs of, all the necessary things that a church or any sort of religious organization needs to do to stay afloat, the things they need to implement, on a budgetary, um, you know, whatever, I understand it. So when I see people come to me and say garbage that really don't make sense to me, and I'm very quick to shoot it down. Where am I going with this? I don't want to feel like I'm rumbling because I'm really annoyed by this. Churches need to stop wanting the most out of people and doing very little. You hear me? Very little to compensate them. I had an experience, and I'll talk about it very lightly, where someone wanted me, and I'm trying to tread very carefully here that I don't hurt anybody. I want this to reach far and wide, but at the same time, I'm trying to ensure I maintain the integrity of what I'm talking about. And whatever is confidential, really, there's nothing confidential. But it's a real life experience. So, someone, again, I'm not calling any names, so that in itself is safe. Someone approached me with a proposal, I'll put it like that. They wanted me to be a part of their space, and I'm really talking about it because I want someone else to benefit. Um, they wanted me to, as a creative, as an audio engineer, as a musician, to join their space and to make my contributions. Um, in other words, the person said to me, how can I make you, a part of us? I'm paraphrasing. Um, I said to them, okay, cool. I had interest too, cool place, whatever. Now it boiled down to the enumeration. Yes, boils down to the funds because again, for me, and a lot of people are of the notion that when you go to church, a lot of people have the belief that musicians aren't supposed to be paid and this and listen, it's not pay, it's compensation, simple. Because if this is a craft, you know what? Let me not go off track. Let me go back. So they wanted me. I'm getting there. They wanted me to be a part of them space, and then they asked me what the numbers would look like. What would we have to compensate you in order for you to be a part of us? And I said to them, okay, well, this, what they asked me, what are you looking at or looking for? I said, well, XYZ sounds like a reasonable figure, which I promise you, it was very reasonable. Very reasonable. That's a relative statement. But even when I said it to my wife, she said to me, I should have added at least $500 more on it. At least. She was pretty much asked me if I'm crazy. Because that's me. I always sell myself short, and it is something that I'm working hard on, which is why I'm so livid and I'm so serious about this current phase in my life and the statement that I'm sending out right now, I'm making right now. So I gave them a very reasonable figure, and they say, all right, they'll look over their numbers, they'll, get back to me and whatever. Talk to the accountant and so forth, and they did it. 2 weeks passed, 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks. I met again. In that period, we were having conversation, deliberating, and I waited on them to come up with their number to meet me where I wanted. So, for the sake of conversation, I'm going to say I asked them for anywhere from about, let's just say, $6 to $8. Yes, per week. This would include me coming in on various days to do various things, their regular meetings and, in various capacities as well. That's the issue too. When you are multifaceted, sometimes that can be problematic. And I did make note of it, and I made sure I told them, pardon me, I didn't want to be floating all over the place, to be honest. But, that's how it is when you're able to flex and you can drop in this space and, anyways, make a contribution. Anyway, so let's, for the sake of conversation, let's say I ask them anywhere from about $6 to $8 for sake of conversation. That was reasonable for me. And they gave me a counter proposal afterwards. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, it was lower. Let's just say that. It was lower than the range that I gave them. And I was like, nah, that can't work. That seems unfair. Long story short, and again, I'm trying not to divulge, too much, so that whatever. But the point of it is they ended up giving me a proposal, a final figure, which was way below what I told them, way below. It was a BS proposal and off, I'm sorry, and it really struck a nerve in me. And the one thing I took from it, they wanted a response. And I mean, they asked me not to, don't answer me now. And when you just pray about it, listen, save me that BS. Save me. Can I say BS on the radio, God? Save me that foolishness. Save me it. You know why? Listen, churches need to start doing better, bro. Hear me say to you? Stop use people. Stop make church start looking like a scam business. You get me? Where you expect people and understand. I'm going somewhere with this, you know. You don't have to agree with me. You get me? But stop make church look like a big scamming warehouse where people show up, give their skills, their talent, and at the end of the day, you have no sort of listen, appreciation and compensation doesn't have to be monetary. Let's start there. You get me? There are various forms you can show your appreciation um for someone or to someone. You get what I'm saying? Various. But let me pause. Yes. So 1 second. Stick up in. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to. I'm coming right back to. Yes, never mind. So I can continue. Good, good, good. Okay. So where was I? Stop make the thing look like a big scam house. You know what I mean? Where you expect people to come and to make their contributions without no sort of compensation or whatever. Listen, I went to school. You get me? If I wanted to practice law, I would have gone to law school. If I wanted to become a doctor, I would have went to, or gone to medicine school. Did I? No, I didn't do that. I don't want to turn doctor, you know. I don't want to turn doctor. I wanted to become a musical or a music producer and a clinical psychologist. That was and it still is, I've achieved part of it already. But the point I'm making is stop making church, look like a big scam warehouse. We expect people to come in and, the Lord is going to bless you. Don't save me that. Miss me with that. The Lord is going to bless you. Of course, He might bless me. And don't fool yourself, people, that you have to be in any one space for the Lord to bless you. Wade, big up yourself, bro. Brother, listen, Wade Johnson, you have been in this industry for a long time. I see you still playing church. You have played secularly. I know you have a whole heap of experience and can relate to this. Where the church in itself, you know what I mean, have their, and again, I'm not bashing the church, I bash some of the practices, and bash some of the leaders who believe in some of the foolishness that they're doing. You know what I mean? Listen, it goes, that is why, and then you have the whole thing about musicians not staying in church. Why the musician them not stay in church? You know why? Because secular people understand business. Somebody is saying they can't hear me. Are you guys? Let's see if we can rectify this. Check 1 2. Let's see. Check. Audio is out. How is that? Check. Oh wow. Check. It's back? Okay. Oh, can you hear? Let's see. Guys, you know technology go already. Check 1 2. Okay, good. It's there. So, where was I? Stop make the church look like okay, good. Don't let anybody fool you into believing that the Lord won't bless you in whichever space that you are. Because church have a tendency of if you leave the church, or whatever, God are gonna take away your talent. Or, come on, the first thing is there's no one church. We have one thing because God is everywhere. And for you to preach the gospel and you follow the principles of the Bible, there's first thing is no one church can hold everybody. Let's start there. So you need multiple millions of physical buildings to hold people because the world is huge. You know what I mean? So let's not buy into that. Don't make anybody fool you into believing that. But the point I'm making, Wade, is the fact that church, them, I felt it really struck a nerve, when the proposal didn't make any sense. It never made no sense to me. It wasn't beneficial as a young man who has great, you know, great vision, or a great, what would I say now, for my future. I have great hopes and plans for my future. I have to make the decisions that are beneficial to me, and at the end will bring forth the best end result for myself. Even if I make a mistake, make it be my decision, or make it be a result of my decision. You know what I mean? But churches, you guys have to do better. You know, have to do better, man. Keith, big up yourself, bro. You have to do better. You can't want people to come in your space and, the Lord is going to bless you. Make them, they want musicians to play. And again, I've heard this conversation so many times. I heard it in Jamaica. Why should musicians be paid? You know why? Because it's simple. While you can sit down, come to church at any given time, you person, you will always come to church late. You come and show up whenever you want. You make no sort of contribution whatsoever to the church. You know what I mean? Yeah, none. You know, a musician's job throughout the service, when you are sitting down, you stand up, you sit down, the musician have to constantly play. You know, the musician can make or break a service. You know what I mean? One way or the other, whether they are good or, the reverse, or the opposite, I should say. A musician, when the music nice, even the word in itself, the delivery of the word is much better when you have good music behind it. Depending on the preacher or whatever, it doesn't matter. Picture a service or a church without no music. It now goes nice. Two things pull people to churches: great music and the word of God. When the delivery, the word is good, the delivery of it is great, it will pull people. Oh, say that speaker is great. I like listening to him and break down the word in such a way that, it's just nice and whatever. You know what I mean? And of course, the music. When the music is great, it will pull people. You pass the church and, you hear, the music, the musician, you sound like them bad or whatever. Nah. Listen, that pulls people to you. Musicians, good music pull people. Repeat that again yeah, bro. I don't know which part you want me to repeat. Just type it out. But the point is, stop making church out to be a scam warehouse. Like when I scam people out of them life. Like people are supposed to dedicate them life to the church and to the beliefs, the doctrines of the church. Listen, I'm not against it. Understand where I'm coming from. At the end of the day, if I'm giving my time and effort to the church, especially from a place of where my gifting is concerned, the church must be beneficial to me at some point. Don't tell me, say, God, I go bless me. That's a rubbish. Because I can't go shandal about high or whatever, or go speak in a tongues when the light bill come, or when the rent is due, or when the phone bill is due. Or I can't say, hey, the Lord is going to bless me, so the bill I go play. It don't work like that. It's not practical. Again, I took it from the background that, listen, musicians, you see various people go to Edna, man. They either for dance, for music, for theater, but as a musician, you go there to learn music. It's a career. Yet still, these are the same people who bash me and say me I play for Shensia. But the end of the day, Shensia people, them understand business. Them understand, so when we leave the stage, all right, XYZ, Danaria, and in team supposed to get XYZ money. You don't have no issues with them where that is concerned. They understand it. And yet still sometimes you finish playing at a church and you have to be texting, remember to send the money. Come on, man. Come on, you make the thing out to be some sort of scam business, bro. Come on, man. Get it together. Get it together. Get it together, people. Churches, leaders, pastors, this is a message to you guys. Get it together. You know what I mean? Stop. You have to first, this is about the true value. You have to first, I was saying to a friend of mine last night, the reason why pastors find it hard, or people, church, the leadership finds it hard to pay musicians or to pay them a certain amount. Let me tell you why. They don't value you. Now, anything in life that you don't value, we equate money or value, we use money to, to determine whether or not, or the value of something rather, to determine whether or not the amount of money that it's required or being asked of, if it really makes sense. So sometimes we think something is expensive or too expensive, but we value it. So we spend the money just the same. That is called an investment. You invest in something because you understand the value. Either because down the road, or later, it will bring forth some sort of proceed, or, it will, some sort of profit, or it will be beneficial to you or to whatever down the line. That is where we make the investments. But so again, it boils down to value. Anytime, and I soon make this, I soon apply this to the other areas of our lives. What I'm talking about this, because this hurt me. You know what I mean? Listen, the reason why they have a problem is because they don't value. And anytime someone stops valuing you, that is time. That is the moment you should separate yourself from that person. Separate yourself from among them. Yeah, you need to separate yourself. Get out of that space. Churches will, I'm reading the comment that Jay wrote, churches will always have a downfall as it regards to musicians because of the money aspect. Gracie said it's not like, and I like, yeah, sing to song from, listen, so let's talk about what Jay said just now. J12 Music said church is always going to have a music in that regards. Because they don't understand business. They don't understand it. I've been in and I gave you guys a story a few weeks ago. I've been in situations where you finish doing work, whether you sing, play, do audio engineering, whatever for churches. My worst experiences are with churches. Yeah. Where, especially with the money part, you collect people's money. There's an offering basket that passes around and people dip their monies in it. Yet still, you still have a problem to pay out. The money, it's not your money, it's God's money. And the money is for the affairs of the church to get whatever done. To get, like the utilities, whatever projects the church have, be outreach, be whatever, the staff, whatever payroll that's there. It is for the church, the affairs of the church. And that is why most people don't like to come to church. And that's why most people put church and politics in the same basket, because it boils down to the same thing, scamming. I'm sorry, I said it. That's the approach. Because when you really take it, put them side and side, there's going to be very little things to differentiate both of them. Stop treating church like scamming people. Stop scam musicians. That's what I'm here to talk to you about. Understand the true value of people. This goes far. This is so much deeper than just musicians. There are various people serving in churches that they don't get the appreciation that they deserve. They don't. Hold on. They don't get the appreciation that they deserve, and they're serving for years, and they have made sacrifices, after sacrifices for the church. You are the ones that give the church a bad name. Make a difference. Get it together. Start valuing people and showing people that you value them. Let me read this comment here on Instagram. It's biblical, but that part is skipped. Miss Legend said, that's true. Many churches don't know that. If they do, they overlook it. Oh, and if they do, they overlook it. Yeah, they don't understand it. They don't understand business. And you have to run the church like a business, because there are so many principles, so many facets that, you have to treat it like business. Anytime money is involved, you have to treat the business principles coming automatically. Money is involved, you have to treat the thing with the principles of business. Because if you don't do that, you're going to waste the money. You're going to spend it on. Listen, again, right back to the value system. And forgive me if I'm here, there, and everywhere with this. It's just as it's coming to me. The reason why a pastor, whatever leadership, they'll see, for example, the need to. I've seen people. It's crazy. I won't even use that experience. It's too relatable. Um, they'll buy something for them. Oh, let's use this. They will pay what do you call it? You call the visiting speaker. Yeah, like a speaker, guest speaker. There we go. That's coming in. They don't mind, finding how much thousands of dollars to give them when they come. The guest speaker is coming and the man of God. And, listen, I'm not knocking that because, again, one's anointing and, the anointing that they walk in is going to require a certain level. So I'm not against that. Listen, if a man has been building his ministry and, there are levels to people. So to get a TD Jakes, your money have to be tall. It's just the reality about things. Your money have to be up there. So if a TD Jakes is coming, you have to get your money in order. And then somebody might say, yeah, why we're paying TD Jakes when TD Jakes is a pastor, he's rich already and whatever. But come on, you have to understand there are levels to people. He has spent years upon years making sacrifices, investing in his craft as a public speaker. Let's start there. As a preacher, you know what I mean? And the various works and the people he has connected himself with. The level that he is now, he never just come overnight. He worked on his craft. He built himself up to that stage. Now, after you have reached that stage, now, in order to get me, you just have to, it's going to require a lot more or a little bit more than the average person. It's just what it is. I say all of this to come right back around to this point. They will pay thousands of dollars to a TD Jakes or a guest speaker. But the same musician that you have that's there every Sunday with you, sweating. Listen, I've been in at churches where you're not even a fan, bro. You're hot. And listen to this, hear this now. This is real life. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. The pastor has 3 fans on him. 3 fans. And the musicians don't have one. I've seen that garbage, yo. That don't make any sense to me, bro. How does that make sense? 3 fans. Listen, it boils down the true value system. So first thing is, let me read this comment. I see Miss Minky. If we live by the word, we have to fully live by the word. Problem is choosing what is and isn't important or applicable from God's word. Pastors should be compensated, but musicians don't? Exactly. That's the same question that I have. Yeah. I see King Orlando laughing. I know why you're laughing. Yes, the pastor have 3 fans. And the musicians are there sweating. And they're playing. And they don't expect the musicians to stop. They're there playing and the musicians have to be playing behind the speaker or whatever. They're playing praise and worship. When they're prayer, they want, worship music and soft chords behind. Come on. Start valuing musicians. Again, this is not just for musicians. This goes for singers who are still musicians. But singers, vocalists, and there are other people, different eras in the church. But I'm speaking on musicians. Start valuing them. Start valuing them and watch the culture change. Then we won't have to be saying, boy, musicians, they don't stay in the church. They don't stay in the church because the church doesn't understand the value system, the true value. They don't understand it. The church don't appreciate you enough. And listen, again, money isn't everything. But money answers all things. The love of money is the root of all evil, or, the root of evil. Listen, the point I'm making is you have to understand both statements. Money answered all things. I can't go to the bank or I can't have a bill to be paid and I, go and say, I play at so-and-so church and, the Lord is going to bless me. Or, I know it. No, that don't pay bills. That doesn't pay bills. That don't pay bills. Doesn't pay bills. So get it right. Come on, church. Get it right. Get it right, man. Get it together. You guys have to start valuing people. You guys have to start valuing people, or else you're going to lose them. And then when you lose them, you're the same ones that's going to bash them and say this and say that. And musicians this and, they don't stay in the church and whatever. Listen, it's always going to be a struggle playing secular and gospel music, because unless you pass certain people, you won't be able to experience, the similarity between both, where the business aspect is concerned. I've seen gospel ministers go up, and there was, for example, let's use Maverick City. Maverick City was coming to Jamaica. Was it last year or was it this year? Was it this year? Hmm? They had an event in Jamaica, and this year, earlier this year, and they canceled it because the money wasn't paid. Listen now, on time. The deposit was paid, was it? Or but the other part, was it the deposit? Okay, so it was the deposit though. The fine. Okay, good. So listen to this. So Maverick City was coming. Let me read this. Let's see, Miss Chisel. The other angle is the church will value outside visiting music. Okay, we're going there in a second. But let's talk about Maverick City. Maverick City, they were booked for an event in Jamaica. I think it was at the National Stadium, something like that. And I don't know the details, but I know what was facts. The facts is the money was paid 2 days late. And this is not the deposit now. This was like the final, the full payment. You know why? These people have to, their managers and so forth have to take these type of steps, because again, church people can be church people. They can be very wicked, cruel. They don't understand business. And when you're dealing with people that don't understand business, you have to protect yourself at all times. But anyways, listen, they got some backlash. Imagine you're doing ministry and you're doing the work of the Lord and you wanted money and this and come on, people. Maverick City is an international group. Each time they travel, airfare, hotel fee, accommodation, whatever, has to be paid. What type of per diem, I don't know what's their arrangement, but these are the things that have to be sorted out. When they travel, who you think pay for the fare, the plane fare? It has to be paid for. JetBlue, American Airlines, or any one of these airlines, they don't think that they're going to allow you onto their aircraft for free. Oh, the Lord is going to bless me, and the Lord said, my father is a millionaire, which he is. I'm stepping on gold. You're not stepping on that aircraft. You're not. You need to pay up front. You need to pay. So again, the hotel is not going to put you in a room just because Chadwick is, or whatever his name is an international artist and it goes to whatever church. No. Money. It answers all things. Again, the church has created a culture for itself, one that is very unappreciative of people, and they are very highly critical. Stop, they'll be the first to criticize, to say this and to say that. Yet still, on the other end, the back end, you don't understand the process, the principles that govern things working the way that ought to work. God is a decent God, an organized God. He's a God that operates of principles. And these very principles that, God is so simple sometimes that if you water flowers, look at it, at the earth, for example. A flowers is able to bloom simply because, natural processes here. If you know anything about photosynthesis, you know what I'm saying. I don't know why I can't pronounce that word right now. But the point is, the plant, a seed goes into the ground. It needs sunlight, it needs water, it needs oxygen, of course. You know what I mean? Oh no, it needs carbon dioxide. Oxygen it need? No, it give off oxygen. It needs it as well. What's happening here? So that me just say. I mean, say, okay. Yes, thank you. Photosynthesis. Thank you. I don't know what happened just now. But the point I'm making is these are the principles of growth. This is what it needs. A plant won't grow in the absence of these things. Similarly, and when the plant is fully grown, we can appreciate it for what it is. Now, this is maybe far fetched, but I'm still using it. A musician's gift, they won't be able to grow and to operate. You see, the oxygen, just like how the plant need oxygen, we need money. We need things to further ourselves, to go to school. Shin, what's up? Hi, Fidel. What's up, brother? Yeah, we need money. Other creatives, yeah, we go to school. Again, I told you, a doctor goes to medicine school, a lawyer goes to law school, a musician go to school of music. Now, if I go to school of music and I study and I ace my exams, my courses, and I leave with whatever degree or masters in this, how is it that you don't think I should get? Now, if I'm giving myself, my craft, my whatever I studied in school to you, don't you think I should be compensated? Listen, the question was asked, or Miss Chisel said, the other angle is the church will value outside visiting musicians more than their own. That is the next thing too. You guys need to stop, get it right. Again, you pay visiting preachers money, and you don't pay the musicians. You pay the pastor needs a mic, and you pay thousands of dollars for the mic. But you find it hard to give the musician an extra 1,000. They get me our extra 100 or extra whatever. Come on. Value system. All I'll say to you, musicians, if you are in a space, and again, this might create enemies, but again, I'm here. This is Conversations with REO. I'm here to speak the truth and speak it ever. Listen, if you are in a space, and again, I use music, but this is much broader than just the church circle. That's a major issue. Make sure you make a note of that. But if you're in a space, be it church, be it your friends, your family, work, and you're not valued, don't be afraid to leave. Understand where I'm going with this. Understand where I'm going with this. And I'm being very cautious as I say this. You first must value yourself. You must understand that you are worth. You understand your worth. And in previous weeks, we spoke about that, understanding oneself. Validation, previous weeks. And this week, we're talking about the true value. The true value. The true value of oneself. The true value of you being present. A friend of mine, and I spoke about this in previous weeks too. Your presence and your absence should never be the same. The value of my presence, every time I'm in a space, I was saying to my wife the other day, we were at a concert, and I said it very casually, your presence, should never be the same. They must know that I'm here. Because me being present, I made a comment. Or the artist was singing, we were at a concert, and I said, yo, pull up, and everybody was laughing and whatever. But my presence right there and then had added some sort of value to the event. Even just for that moment, it made a huge difference. Your presence and your absence should never be the same. You should understand the true value of your presence. When I am present, things must be different. If I'm in a space as a musician, as an audio engineer, it has to be different because I know what I come with, what I bring to the table. As a creative, as a leader, someone that is able to effect change, even in the harshest of situations. She said that it also applies to regular day jobs who won't compensate you what you're worth. Yeah? So again, it's not just the church. But the church seemed to be having a fun time with it. Church, let's get it together. If you're in a space, people, and you're not valued, don't be afraid to leave. Leave. In fact, I'm telling you, leave. Leave, because sometimes we don't want to leave because we're afraid, that we can't bloom or, exist in that space to be, sometimes we tie ourselves to one area, one little circle, not knowing that, listen, the grass is actually greener on the other side, or if you step out, you're able to experience, you know. Marsha said I'm generalizing some churches. Marsha, it seems like you're just joining. So welcome. Again, this is a widespread disease. It's worse than COVID. It's across the nation, the world. It's an international disease. Yep. That somehow people just take it up. This is a church thing. Obviously, this doesn't go for every church. But there are more churches than there are not. So we have to generalize for what it is. You know, just like they're not, and it's not every job that undermines you or undervalues you. But most times, you know, you're qualified or whatever. And people, again, if I want you guys to make sure you watch the entire video. Go back to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. But the point I'm making is, let's get it together. Let's make a difference. Start valuing people. You know, if it's even you. So I've been talking about people valuing us, but let's flip it. Make sure you're valuing people. Value people. Show your appreciation. Show your love. Show your love. Show your love. Appreciate people. Stop use people. Stop being an opportunist. Make the difference, or treat people how you want to be treated. If you know that they deserve $10 and you have it, you're able to, don't give them 6. Don't give them 4. Give them the $10 what them deserve. Give them 11 if you can. Again, this is not for people who cannot afford $10. And again, it has to make sense. It has to be balanced. Because not because you can't afford $10 and the person worth $10, that means you're going to pay them 2 because you can't afford 10. There has to be some sort of balance. Again, based on your affordability. But that's a different even area of this thing. What I'm talking about, it goes specifically or more specifically to people who are undermining people because firstly, you don't value them. If you don't value them, you can't see their true worth. Let's start there. So that in itself answers the thing. If you don't value them, you won't be able to see their true worth. Value people, see their efforts. Sometimes people are there, they're making efforts, strides, trying to be different or trying to be better each day. Value people. Value people. Value people, man. Show your appreciation. Show your appreciation. I'm tired of churches coming with, the same old every day. And this, the Lord is going to bless you. Come on, man. Yeah, He's going to bless me. He's going to. He's a good God. He's a gracious God. That's what He's going to do. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, that's just something for you to think about. Make sure you pass it on. Pass this message on to your church. People need to value. You need to value the people that are in your house. Show them appreciation. And if you're not able to, don't feel away or don't complain when they leave. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. People need to find spaces that appreciate them. Find spaces that appreciate them. Find spaces that appreciate them. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to share this video with you. This is from John Mark Wigan. His album launch is this week, Saturday. Let me just put the flyer up real quickly for you. But, I've been talking about this for weeks. Validation. Yes, validation. I've been talking about it for weeks. Make sure you guys join John Mark this week. Let me play this video real quick for you guys.
Show my boy. Yo,
yeah, dealing. They're on the spot, Your father now?
Oh, you have the thing them, right?
Yeah, mom, you have a thing them, man. What you say, man?
Oh, me a fart right now. Don't move, my bro.
Do it fast.
what you think them then? Which thing? Yo, empty your pocket. No, let me catch you.
Hurry up, hurry up.
What kind of man? Yo, hurry up now, brother. You just... I'll carry him. Yo, hold him, man. Hold him. Hold him. Validation.
Yes.
I've come to tear down.
That's validation. Again, make sure you join John Mark and his team this Saturday. And we're gonna close out on that note. Again, people, I can't stress it enough. Value people, man. Value people. Stop making the church out to be a scam. Yeah, man. The true value, you have to know the true value of the people that are around you. First thing, you have to know the true value of yourself, of oneself. Remember, we talk about that, But at the same time, we can't just be there using people and just expecting people to do this and to do that with no sort of compensation. You have to think about people, think about your family, think about your life, Yeah, man. You have to value people. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys are there this Saturday, the 28th. Validation. Let me just read out the details to you guys real quickly. John Mark Wigan and his team, his amazing team. They will be there, of course. You're gonna have people like Samuel Medas, he's from Guyana, Rondell Positive, Rhoda Isabella, Prince Saj, O'Shane Mays, Ryan Davis, Monte, Audia Spencer Brown, Janelle Grant, and much more. General admission is 4,500, VIP 6,000, and that's Jamaican dollars. That would be roughly 35 US, and 55, for VIP. But anyways, the venue is at Swallowfield Chapel. That's Swallowfield Road, Kingston 5. Guys, make sure you show up. Make sure you're there come this Saturday, because I know he's looking for your support. He has an amazing project that's lined up. I've been able to hear some of it. This week he had the listening launch, I believe. Yeah. And listen, the reception, I've seen a few videos, and the reception is great. Again, John Mark, continue doing the great work that you're doing. And validation is such a great message. So big ups to you, my brother. Continue to put in the work. And at that very note, on that great note, again, people, value people, the true value. You have to value people for what they do. Yeah, man, you have to value people in your space. And of course, don't take advantage of nobody, man. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll end on that note. John Mark, continue putting in the work. You guys that are working on your craft, continue to do that. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me this week on Conversations with REO. This is going to be my theme song.
Against me, but my God nasty. But I was alone, like he didn't know. God watches over me, protecting against every wickedness. He goes before me and behind me, working on the things that I can't see. Good Lord, in my problem, then you still work. You're looking for